Hello, good afternoon, willkommen, liebe Insektenfresser. The rings of power, it still be ringing. Be ringing it do indeed. And welcome to episode 6. And as always, if you've missed any of the previous episodes that I've covered, you'll find those linked in the pinned comment down below, chronologically ordered for your viewing pleasure. And today, I'm not going to be asking you to eat the bugs, I will be instead asking you for your favourite orc parody film title. For those of you who missed the open bar last week, here's a little bit of context.
I don't know if you guys have seen, but the chat is currently coming up with titles, coming up with spin-off names for the orc.
Great.
For the orc story.
With orcs. Yeah.
Dude, where's my orc? That's a good one.
That's right. The chat fused together each one of their IQs to form a singularity-breaking, hive-minded, perpetual orc title spin-off name generator that went on for hours. They literally went for like 2 hours straight. Drop your favorite orc spin-off title down below. You can't have 2001: A Space Orcacy because I've already had that one. I'll be searching for my favorites. Also, if you missed the stream, you would have missed the first hour of it where I was just being straight roasted by the chat because I basically didn't say anything because they were talking about Beetlejuice, and The Joker 2. Two films that I know nothing about and frankly care very little about as well. I was brought on to talk about Rings of Power, but it didn't stop the... Does this guy talk?
Is this guy illiterate?
Does this guy know he's live?
The drink is ringing on mute stream now. That's pretty inclusive.
I definitely saw a Make-A-Wish joke in there somewhere. It was pretty funny, to be fair. I am a shy little boy and you were bullying me and you're not funny. Now, let's actually begin today's video, and I wanted to start with this article entitled Galadriel's Replacement is the Character the Rings of Power Always Needed. There's a few ways to interpret that title, but each time I reinterpret it, I hate it a little bit more. The Rings of Power presented Galadriel as the main character of Season 1, for better or worse, definitely worse. Mudavith Clark was exceptional as Galadriel. That's cap. It would be unwise to begrudge her Season 1. Secondary cap. Clark's chemistry with Sauron actor Charlie Vickers captured the hearts of 25 million viewers on the first day of Season 1. The level of delusion and or the lack of insight required to arrive at the conclusion that 25 million people were captivated by shipping Galadriel and Sauron is so out of this world stupid that if NASA photographed it, no one would question its legitimacy. Everyone would believe it's real. Trust me when I say you do not hate shippers enough. These troglodytes, these people who are so incapable of keeping drool within inside their mouths, they could actually be repurposed as a jet wash. These people looked into the vast depths of the lore that Tolkien created, and the one thing that they gleaned from it, the one thing, according to this article, that 25 million people were captivated by was, oh, but what if they kissed?
Right, that's it. I'm leaving. Had enough of this.
But enough of all that, and on to episode 6, that starts with Don Lemonless, who can apparently hear better when he's kneeling down. Must have very, very sensitive patellas. Well, it's a good job that his knees are so sensitive to sound because he was able to hear a pair of orcs nearby who, very much like the Family Man orc from one of the previous episodes, they're not very good at acting like orcs.
I don't care what they call us. Anything's better than dying out at it or chase a ghost.
Since when did orcs have moral aptitude strong enough to act upon? I'd love to know. Orcs are not sometimes, or occasionally, orcs are in fact specifically bred to be mindless tools of violence. Orcs don't want to go for long walks on the beach, or shoot dice, or listen to Joni Mitchell. They only want to inflict horror upon the world. They are a personification of evil.
Come on, you slugs! You two are going straight to the front line!
Now, Celebrimbor might frequent the elven hair salons, keeping his ends looking young and supple, but even that can't protect him from the cruel tide of dementia.
What is your name again, Smith?
Do you mean you don't remember?
I was in the foothills of the Himalayas.
Unfortunately, it's not just Celebrimbor who is suffering from dementia. It would appear that the makers of this show believe that you are as well.
Halbrand is Sauron.
So, Galadriel has been offered an ultimatum by Adar. Either help him to defeat Sauron once and for all, or he'll burn down Eregion. Can't imagine that deal possibly going south in any way. But Adar seems to have forgotten that Galadriel is a strong, independent woman who definitely won't just sit there doing absolutely nothing as he chains her to a chair with what appears to be a neoprene pair of handcuffs sealed with a singular press stud. It's impenetrable. Can we just get another close-up of Fort Knox over there? Yeah, she'll never make it out of that. And we're now back in Numenor with Elendil, who is currently being tried for high treason, among other crimes, amounting to a death sentence, unless he chooses to repent and pledges loyalty to the new ruler of Numenor. Quick tip though, if you are going to try and coerce someone like this by acting like a big man, best that you have a big man voice to go along with that bravado.
Elendil, son of Amandil, do you renounce your crimes?
Well, are you gonna do it or what, mate?
I do not. For Numenor's true ruler is now and to the end of her days, Miriel!
My queen! Also, fabulous news. We now rejoin, not Gandalf, who definitely is Gandalf, and Tom, comic relief Bombadil, for some of the worst dialogue so far in the show.
Sorry. Snoring? Who's snoring?
No one.
You get it, right? Yeah, because Nori sounds like snoring. Except the fact it fucking doesn't. But never mind all of that, because we've got to listen to a lady talk about a hole in the ground for quite a long time.
This smeal, my mum and her folks dug for me. I was born in it. I've been tending that tree since I was big enough to balance a rake. I married my Bramgar in its shadow, and last spring, when he passed, I buried him under it. And one day I'll be buried beside him. Every one of these smeals has a story like that.
Yes, that's all very wonderful, and if you didn't know, a smeal, meaning burrow, is the official name for a hobbit hole. But if I could just quote Professor Tolkien himself when talking about smeals, this is the very first line of The Hobbit, by the way, he says, "In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. Not a nasty, dirty, wet hole filled with ends of worms and an oozy smell, nor yet a dry, bare, sandy hole," which, funnily enough, seems to perfectly describe exactly what they've depicted here. Tolkien not only explained what hobbit holes were, he also, quite elaborately, explained what they weren't as well. And that's the design that they went with. For those of you who don't know, the earliest record of the hobbit species notes that they inhabited this area here, known as the Valley of Anduin, before they later migrated to the west, settling in this area that you might know as the Shire, Bree, etc. Now, on this map, do you want to take a quick guess as to where Amazon is currently telling us that hobbits currently live? Here? Here, maybe? Well, no, not quite. Amazon says that they live way out here. What? Why? I have absolutely no idea. We've just got to deal with it, I guess. Geography isn't that important, bro.
You see, this place, it's not just where we live. It's our home.
Now, I really do hate to be pedantic, but that's the same fucking thing.
It's not just where we live. It's our home.
This isn't just what I call people with. It's my phone. And this isn't just where I sleep. It's also my bed. And this isn't just retarded childlike dribble, it's Rings of Power dialogue. And if you think the dialogue is bad, now we've got to deal with the romance that absolutely no one asked for between Binky and South Asian Rod Stewart. This is the Lord of the Rings now. Cool. Also, is that one of those limited edition 50p stuck in hair? What the fuck is that?
I say we fight for it.
We then revisit Khazad-dum, where Durin III is hell-bent on expanding his mining operation against the better judgment of his son, and Deezer is not very happy about it.
Then he's left us no choice. We'll lay our bodies in front of that mine ourselves if we have to.
Well, you'll only need your body, Deezer. Ain't nobody getting past that. And of course, being the fruity cock dwarf that he is, Durin endures yet another earful from Deezer telling him what to do.
He's deaf to all other voices, even ours. And every dwarf in this mountain's in peril. Durin! Durin!
Yes, do what you're told, Dumpy. There's no male agency to be found round here. Sorry, what's that? Oh, you want male characters who are competent and make their own decisions? Shut up and die.
Always have you seen the light at the end of the cave, my love.
God, that's disgusting.
Deezer then decides to become some sort of Dark Souls mini-boss. She's literally doing the meme.
You need Jesus, man.
And it turns out that Deezer's cave singing is capable of summoning hordes of cave bats to attack upon her demand. Deezer can control bats now. This is very quickly getting out of hand. So, it is now time for Elendil to be fed to the Kraken, but not before absolutely everyone gets snuck upon, but not before everyone is snuck up upon by a blind woman.
Release him! Given that his crime was committed in my name.
Okay, how could no one see or hear her coming? I mean, come on. And of course, we couldn't have one masculine scene where a man decides to live or die by his morals without being upstaged by a woman wanting to take his place. McQueen!
McQueen.
He actually said the thing. Miriel then gets spat out by the Calamity monster, and all of the people of Numenor suddenly like her again, because she girl-bossed real hard, and Karl Marx is not very happy about it. And it turns out that Karl Marx has some of those King Charles fingers. Those things are swole AF. You know what? I probably would have ended up writing a Communist Manifesto too if my fingers were that fat and unusable.
What then for the Uruk? Will your High King permit us to return home in peace?
Are we really still going down the orcs just want to chill route? Is that really what we're doing? It's not just a misunderstanding of evil. It is itself evil to misunderstand or misrepresent evil in this way. Gatekeep absolutely everything. Also, one of my recurring critiques of this show, or more specifically Morvith Clark, is that she is literally incapable of showing any kind of emotion until now. But, now I've seen it, I wish I could unsee it.
No! You mustn't! This is all his design! This is what Sauron wants!
Dear God, it's just terrible. You see it too, right? It looks like they've either used CG AI or both to add more expression to her face in post. I'm getting like Uncanny Valley. This literally doesn't look human. It's horrible to look at. Right, that's enough of this garbage for one day. Join me next week for episode 7. But until then, take care of yourselves. Toodaloo. That was really high. And as always, a big shout out to the patrons and the channel members. Here we have the top tiers. These are the Knights of Lore. We have Michael Turpia, Pozobon, Flunky, Dagger D69, nice, Jax, Cuss, Michael Myson, Texas Lawman, ATS, Steve the Goat, Saint Nemo, the Grand Admiral, Jordan96, and Patrick Coyne. To each one of you, I thank you for serving the realm. And of course, a big thank you to each one of the tier 2s and also the tier 1s. To everyone on this list, I can't thank you enough for showing me the support that you do. I really do appreciate it. Take care, each and every one of you. See you in the next one. And there we go. Another day, another video. Will you join me for my next one? You better do. You little bitch. But until then, take care and I'll see you very soon.